Hello everyone and welcome back once again to a Legionary's life. We're in Africa and tomorrow will be the great battle against Hannibal's armies. At least that's what I think is what's gonna happen. We don't actually know for sure yet. The day has come. Your army is fully deployed on the battlefield. The Principes, to which you belong, stand in the center with the rest of the infantry. The Hastati form a line in front of you. Unlike the usual checkered pattern, the gaps between each of their maniples are exactly in front of the gaps between yours. Okay, so instead of a checkered pattern, the gaps between each of their maniples are exactly in front of the gaps between yours. So there are actually gaps between the different parts of the army in a straight line instead of having a checkered board with spaces in between. So they have lines instead of... okay, yeah, I get it. Also, their gaps are filled up with velites. Usually, the skirmishers are deployed in front of the heavy infantry. Behind you, the triarii are disposed in a similar arrangement. The continuous line of men up ahead blocks your view. You can't see anything of the enemy except for the elephants. Hannibal has positioned his huge beasts in the middle, right there in front of you. Your wings are protected by the cavalry, as usual. Massinissa leads his Numidian warriors on the right, while Laelius is in command of your Italics OC on the left. You wait, there's nothing else you can do. The lull is interrupted when the elephants start advancing. You wonder how it must feel to the soldiers in the first line. When the large animals are close enough, a deafening noise raises from the sides as every horn and trumpet in the hands of your cavalry is blown. It seems to work. The elephants are unsettled by the racket. Some of them turn away and run on their own. The rest keep advancing towards the center. The velites fall back, opening the wide gaps between the maniples of the Hastati. The elephants are lured in, while the velites keep attacking them with their javelins. They are approaching your line. Seeing these fearsome beasts roaming about is disconcerting. There were elephants at Ilipia, but they never got this close. You keep banging your shield with the sword, as you have been instructed to do. The elephants keep away from the noise, while the velites go on dealing with them. At last, they move past and disappear beyond the rear. The danger is over, for the moment. You notice your cavalry is no longer there. They must have charged when you were dealing with the elephants. At a signal, the Hastati close the gaps and start moving forward. You do the same and follow. You stop at a distance when they engage something. The Carthaginian first line? You keep ready, not knowing what's going on. At one point, they start advancing again, as if their opponents were retreating. Then they suddenly come to an abrupt halt. Their line is losing cohesion under what must be a powerful shock. The centurion in charge of your maniple decides it's time to spring into action. You have to stand back and guard the rear. The maniple of Hastati right next to yours seems about to fall into chaos. Their op shows having a hard time. Let's try giving him a hand. Failed charisma check. You're trying to accomplish way too much. Your own maniple is faltering when your attention is diverted elsewhere. You're failing at both tasks. Oh, this is bad. You have to temporarily take the centurion's place at the front. Carthaginian levy soldier, huh? Alright, let's throw the javelin. Good. I actually have a very good shot at some parts already. He's halfway down. What about a shield charge? Knocking seems to be already quite good. Okay, resisted, unfortunately. It's a pretty high resistance, but knocking looked to be pretty good, but I guess not. So now we're in a position where we try to recover. Maybe just attacking him is a better option. Won't really break through his armor, but attacking on the legs should finish him off fast enough. Come on. Good. Alright, new levy soldier. Let's see if I can get his stance to drop far enough. Let's try an attack on the neck. He's gonna switch, so I need to try and at least damage him. So he's badly wounded. Alright, let's try leg, just to get him over half. And yeah, that constitutes seriously wounded. So over half damage is seriously wounding. The opposite line is broken, but the clash has left you untidy and partially scattered. Your cavalry and the enemy are nowhere to be seen. Okay, that's not good. The enemy infantry is fleeing. Oh. But in the distance, they start splitting in two separate directions. Something is blocking their path. Beyond, you spot another line of foot soldiers ready for battle. You notice the glitter of heavy armors. Hannibal has kept his veterans in reserve. You must regroup or all is lost. Mounted Roman high officers ride from side to side shouting orders. Your maniple has to fall back and move to the right wing, but it's a difficult maneuver given the situation. Let's do as we are told. Failed charisma check. Time is short and there's too much to accomplish. This is all you can do to regroup while remaining in the middle. Now you form a single line along with the Astadi and the Triari. Blood and corpses cover the ground that separates you from the Punics. You advance. Your legionaries are hardened soldiers, but walking over mutilated corpses before facing the enemy is an appalling experience. Try to motivate them. Charisma pass. Your men take heart. Their expression is a mask of grim determination. Your mental attributes have not improved. Okay. You're beyond the gruesome tract. The enemy line is waiting for you. This is the last stand. Your ancestors had Lake Vergillis centuries ago. The men who broke the warlike Samnites at Aquilonia after 3 ferocious wars. Their sons who stopped Pyrrhus at Beneventum. The generation of your grandfathers who shattered the Carthaginian fleet off the Aegetes Islands. Did they all feel like you do now, approaching a moment that will resonate through time? Here in the center, you have to face Hannibal's veterans, his finest troops, who have followed his lead through endless years of hardship and triumphs. You steel yourself for a titanic struggle. When the other side is at the right distance, we're going to throw the javelin. Okay, with high awareness, we have a good line of sight. Pick off the enemy officer. Throwing fail. Okay. Against Hannibal's veteran. Let's go for a quick feint first, and then a normal one. This seems to be a pretty sound strategy, but if we're continuing to get bad luck on the normal hit, like this, then we're not accomplishing a whole lot. And I also don't want to get too tired, so let's do a bit of respite. And you really do need to have quite a bit of luck sometimes in this game. Come on, you have practically no chance at resisting, and well, never mind. Guess we're up against another veteran who took a little hit there. As long as we don't lose an entire bar worth of fatigue, we're actually fine. And it's a shame we cannot actually deal with these veterans. Since they seem to be much too powerful. Okay, let's just try the neck. They probably don't have a very high defense on the neck. But, well, I got one hit in. And then at the crucial moment, you fail. That's also one of the tough parts. Let's go for the leg. Let's try another leg hit. Alright, great. At least he's wounded. Wow, the pro console likes you more for that, huh? Another round on a veteran. I do think that at the very least, you know, we're holding our own quite a bit against even the final enemies here. But I shouldn't say that too loud, in case I jinx it. Come on. Not in the cards. If we're gonna shift, I might just as well use respite. Even if I lose one morale, I didn't. Sweet. The Punics won't give way, they're too strong. Your comrades are tired, too many are wounded. They are faltering. So many years, so much bloodshed. Only to fall here, one step away from victory. You keep resisting, your formation is moments away from breaking. You almost fail to hear the approaching thunderclap, and then the shockwave rippling through the rear of the Carthaginians. What? The cavalry! The cavalry is back! Attacked on two fronts, the Punics are in chaos now. Without wasting a moment, you renew your assaults with energies you didn't suspect you had. Some of the enemies attempt to flee and are cut down. Many more stand where they are and fight to their last breath. Others surrender when they realize all hope is lost. It is over. It is finally over. You receive your share from the spoils of the battle. You gain 240 denarii. They say that Hannibal himself, upon his return to Carthage, told the Senate that the war was lost. The Council of War summoned by Scipio discards a direct attack on the Punic capital. The city is well protected and a siege would take years. Peace talks are resumed. Carthage is allowed to keep its laws and its territories in Africa. It loses everything else. Its foreign policy becomes de facto subject to Rome's will. The war indemnity they are to pay will cripple them for generations. Their warships, once the pride and symbol of their power over the Great Sea, are reduced to 10 triremes. Thus ends a 16-year war. Not the longest, but the bloodiest conflict the world has ever seen. Okay. You would be promoted if there were a position available. You have to wait for your chance. Hopefully your popularity won't have changed by then. Okay. Your victorious army leaves Africa and lands at Lilybaeum. From here you set sail once more. Your destination is Astia, Rome's seaport. What is waiting for you and your comrades as Rome is even beyond your expectations. The triumphal procession is the most imposing the city has ever seen. Scipio, whom they start calling Africanus, for the land he conquered, parades in front of you, his army on a chariot pulled by 4 white horses. Today, the survivors of Cannae are the most deeply affected. They had their revenge at last, and no one will ever dare to question their honor again. But their long exile stole many years from their lives. This is something nobody will be able to give back. Meanwhile, another war is looming in the east. Emissaries from Pergamon, Rhodes, and even Athens came seeking the help of Rome against the expansion of King Philip V, ruler of Macedonia, one of the powerful kingdoms carved from Alexander's immense empire. Many see this new war as an opportunity too good to miss. The Republic may be tired after the long conflict with Carthage, but the army has been forged into a formidable weapon of conquest. It is way too tempting a tool in the hands of people in search of personal glory and richness. Publius Sulpicius Galba, elected as one of the 2 consuls for his year, is assigned to deal with the crisis in Macedonia. He's allowed to add precious veterans from Africa, like yourself, to his army, but only on a voluntary basis. Thank you for playing this early access version. 3 more parts set during the Second Macedonian War are planned for the full release, along with new enemies, events, battles, and more. Your current character will receive bonus points as if he retired. If he makes it into the Hall of Fame, his points will help make your next character stronger, even in the full game. You'll find news about the game development on the official website, legionarieslive.com. Alright, 1644. That's a lot better than we had last time. Yeah. So I know we can do a lot better, but we'll see. It's time for a third game, and yeah, we've gone through the entire storyline now, at the very least. That means that I will also be checking up on any other outcomes to events that I've already done before, potentially looking for different paths, particularly. I also want to take a look at a low virtue run of this game and a high virtue run of this game to see which different events there are and what will come of that, as also so as to see how you can maximize your run. So I'll be setting up a high morale run first, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for new game here, and let's do a couple rolls, and let's just look for something which is at least reasonable. So above average, I guess. Don't want this to take too much time. We had a really crazy character last time. I think above and beyond anything that you could probably want. Like this, for example, low endurance. So I'm really gonna have to work on that, but the rest is very positive. High charisma, high intellect, high strength. So overall quite good. This time we already had Knight Phoenix and Phoenix Knight, so I guess this time I'm just gonna call him Knight, and that's it. So this time we have 883 points. That's already a lot more than the last time. Let's at least get this up to 50. I think the thing about stats is that they're, I guess, much more important than getting some starting weapons. The reason for that is that they are a lot harder to increase throughout the game. especially things like charisma, awareness, and intellect. Comparatively, that's why I wanted these at least to be very high. I'm also going to raise my awareness at the very least to a point where it will cost 50 to get higher. And let's see, because some of these are very cheap. Like, I definitely want to get the second level of these. I don't know what the difference is though at this point. Like, why would I? This is the light Celtic helmet with 10. Yeah, and I have to go compare like this. So the difference is 2 more damage protection, 2 more of that. So I think spending a low amount of money on all of these is okay. The back and breastplate is let's see if I compare to this. Probably just gonna go for this one then, for now at least, and then I will try to get these higher, at least until the point where it costs 50. So these are 36 to increase because they're already very high. I have 201 points left. If I go for this sword, that's the best sword already. I have 66. And then I think I'm just gonna increase 2 stats. I'm gonna go for charisma. Oh yeah, it's 72. That doesn't work. It's also quite a large difference. I guess then I'll just go for endurance and put the rest into cash. All right. So again, my character is a lot better, and again I will skip over all the other details, and we'll be back in a second, I guess. First of all, because this is still 29 and 29, I do want to focus. You're stuck with an especially aggressive sparring partner this morning. Dacius has been here in España since long before your arrival. He's one of the survivors of last year's debacle. His blade has come dangerously close to your throat twice already. Even a wooden practice sword can be lethal when it's used like that. First time I had keep going. This time I'm gonna attempt a spectacular counter-strike. Failed weapon. Your clumsy attack is easily dodged. Decius steps aside and you lose balance, falling to the ground. He looks at you, shaking his head. Even the Centurion makes a mocking remark. Okay, that's not too great. Getting back on your feet, you try to shrug off the embarrassment and keep going until the end of the practice session. We've noticed that he's acting very nervous of late. First time we asked him what is wrong. One time we passed the check, one time we failed the check. I'm going to do nothing this time. Let's just see what happens. Whatever the reason for his behavior, we'd rather not get involved. Hopefully he'll be able to handle the pressure when it's time to meet the Carthaginians on the field. Virtue decreased by 2. Okay, that's fair enough. If our virtue is already down, what I might just as well do is just have some fun. And how much money do we have? 104. I can do a couple more of these have fun to lower my morale to increase my morale, lower my virtue, which is what I want to do in order to get a low virtue run here, because I'm already on the low virtue path, so I might just as well do it now. Let's spend a bit more leisure time to have fun now that we can, just to keep lowering that virtue. And okay, still a bit of practice. Alright, that went much better than the first 2 times. I actually killed one and seriously wounded a second one. So, you know, much better than... I actually didn't manage to kill any militiamen during my first 2 rounds. First 2 playthroughs. The Carthaginian militia is in disarray. For a brief moment you stare at the bodies scattered across the ground, a few legionaries, but the vast majority are militiamen. In the ensuing chaos, you barely have time to think about your first kill. So that you barely have time to think about your first kill is missing if you don't actually kill anyone. So that's the difference here. And we failed this again. The Centurion promised to share a generous portion of his reward should he manage to be the first man over the walls. Both times we did our best to help the Centurion. Let's do that again. Pass the check. And the defense check. We failed that the first time. You feel 2 missiles bouncing off your shield. The defender's resistance gets more and more reckless. And this is the first time that being a low virtue character does pay off. As we keep marching along the streets, as is custom, looting is strictly prohibited until the battle is over. First time around, we had to stick to the rules and go ahead to the rallying point. That was our only option. If you go for low virtue, you have the chance to sneak away in search of a quick profit. Our virtue has decreased by 8. At the first opportunity, you slip out unnoticed. After some time, you come across a craftsman's workshop, just what you were looking for. As you come in and start searching through the shelves, a man and a woman show up from another door across the room. At first, they look frightened, but seeing that you are alone, they start shouting at you. Although you can't understand Punic, their meaning is obvious. We can give up and leave, or scare them off. Let's scare them off. The man is easily scared and starts to back off towards the door, but the woman is made of harder metal. She grabs something from one of the shelves and throws it at you. Defense check. You quickly raise your shield and hear a loud thump right in front of your face. We can leave empty-handed or attack them. This isn't even a fight. They are untrained and unable to strike back. Your virtue has decreased by 40. For a few minutes, you stare at what you have done, their screams still ringing in your ears. As soon as you manage to pull yourself together, you hastily clean your blade on their clothes and grab what you can from the shelves. You have gained 150 denarii. You walk out the main door only to find yourself cornered by 2 Carthaginian militiamen. No doubt they've heard the shop owner's screams. One of them yells something you can't make out. This is going to be tough. 2 expert militiamen, and I'm quite sure I'm going to have to defeat them. Let's see here. Let's go for feint. Okay. I might meet a very early demise here. Okay, I'm not ready for this, apparently. Well, that was it, guys. That's not the run. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the afterlife. Not yet. All right, let's give him another feint. Okay, it's still alive. I'm still there. Let's go for a normal one. Maybe you can catch him off guard. Oh. Let's try the other one. No! Okay, still alive. I'm still alive. Let's whack him on the head. Fail? No. I mean, I'm still not confident. And there we are. Well, that was a short run. I did not accomplish anything. I wonder if we'll get any points at all. 20 points. Well, okay. I wasn't ready for that path. Okay, well, I guess I figured it out. Thanks for watching, and that's where I'll wrap up this one. And I'll see you in the next game. Thanks, bye-bye, and see you there. Yeah, just the Hall of Fame score for a bit. Okay, thanks.